Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and lovers of drones everywhere, welcome to Thursday Night Live. Oh my goodness, it's Linda. Break it down. She's breaking it down. Look at her. Look at her go. She's a dancer.
I'm going slow.
Yeah. Welcome back, Linda. Thank you.
Hey.
Thank you for being on with us in the co-hosting chair. Big show tonight. We've got two guests tonight. First guest is going to be Dan Stinnett. He is a radio engineer and a cameraman who works in a helicopter in the DC area. We're going to talk with him. Plus, later on in the show, we'll talk to a guy named Francois. He is a Canadian who is going to talk to us about all the new Canada drone rules. But first, cool. Linda, where you been?
You know, here, there, everywhere. I've been traveling a lot.
Yeah.
Oregon, California, Arizona, all the states in between.
Okay.
Basically just those 3 states.
Very good. Well, we'll find out a little bit more about that later. First, I want to thank everyone for joining us. If you like what you see, tell a friend about it, because I suck at marketing. Throw a thumbs up. Super chat, as always, is open. Big prizes tonight from Freewell. We got lenses to give away. Plus, I'll draw for this. If you know what my butt itches means, well, then we're gonna draw for that. For those of you who don't know what that means, well, that means you're not a scroller. We'll explain later. But first, right now, it is the Cadillac of processed meat. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a pigeon jerky.
You'll enjoy pigeon jerky, the Cadillac of processed meats.
Yeah.
You'll enjoy pigeon jerky.
All right.
And you'll give your family a treat.
Woo!
It's balanced nutrition to help them grow.
Yeah.
And it's full of fiber to make them go.
Here we go.
You'll enjoy pigeon jerky.
Pigeon jerky, the Cadillac of processed meats. Yeah. Woo! All right. So, Linda.
Yep.
You are Part 107, are you not?
I am indeed, yes.
Okay. And as you know, the best way to study for your Part 107 is with RemotePilot101.com. They are the sponsor of the show this evening, and they've got a great course. I'm not a very good learner. When I was in high school, if I got a D, my mom was like, yes, we'll put that D on the fridge. So I'm not a very good learner. I'm a dude, so most dudes, I would say, are visual learners. They have to see. So that's why RemotePilot101.com is so wonderful, because it's all video. And you can take a test in between. You can stop, you can rearrange, you can go back and rewind. Jason Shappert is the instructor. He's been on the show. You might have seen him before. And you pay one price and you're in for life. And speaking of price, if you put in Heron 18, you get 30% off. I advise you to go to RemotePilot101.com right now. Even if you're not a member, you can go on and chat with them. They're there for questions. They will answer your questions. They'll give you information. And yeah, I highly recommend them. RemotePilot101.com.
Should I go right now? I'll see you later.
Yeah, you go ahead. You go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bye.
So, Linda, tell us where you been? What have you been up to?
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of traveling. It doesn't look like I'm doing a lot if you look at my YouTube channel, but I've been shooting tons of time-lapse footage, obviously here in Arizona where I live, but also in Oregon. Mm-hmm. And recently I got back from spending 5 weeks in California. So, been getting around. Okay.
You're known for your time lapses. Is that what you were doing? Time-lapse stuff?
Yeah, well, I also do some regular photography. I was doing some portrait photography and stuff like that too. I got to keep the lights on. So
right. And I have some images from you. You want to flip through these right now?
Sure.
Got one called Hemlock Falls.
Oh yeah, that's in Oregon.
That's lovely.
I did shoot some time lapses there as well. It was very rainy and very foggy there. I was the only person there, and I could hear there was a bald eagle in the tree line to my right in that photo, just yelling at me.
How did you get the water to get so blurry like that?
It's a secret.
Okay.
No, It's like you take a long exposure basically with your camera. I had a filter stacked on top of my camera lens.
Well, that's lovely. Let's see what else we got here. What is that? That's a painting. That's not a picture.
Yeah, that's a rock in the water. That's in California. That's on the coast. There, I guess it's near LA, really. And
is it?
Yeah.
It's hard to tell the scale. Is that a giant thing or is that a little bird dropping?
It's a giant thing. I did have a picture that had a bird on it too. Maybe I should have posted that one.
Okay.
I would say that it's probably a good 16 or 17 feet tall.
Yeah, that looks huge.
Yeah, I sent you kind of a low res file so you can't turbo zoom in. But...
Right, yeah. Okay. Oh, look at that. Where's this?
Oh, that's here in Arizona. We had quite the winter, and so there was some snow. That was early February.
Oh, wait, that's a cactus with snow on it. I didn't know that was even possible.
Yeah, it's not super common, but it does happen from time to time. So I got out there before sunrise and tried to see if I could get some nice pictures, and that was one of them.
Did you make a snowball?
I did, and then I got my hands full of needles from the cacti.
Oh, man. All right, let's see what we got here. Okay, now, I've seen that before. That's rocks. I've seen those before.
Yes, yeah. There's also dirt there in the foreground if you look closely.
Oh, yeah, that's very familiar.
Yeah, that was taken late this spring. You can tell still that there's some yellow flowers on the ground there. That's here in Arizona, and it was a pretty rainy day then.
Ooh, what's that?
I think that's the remnants of a tree that broke and split, and then moss grew all over it. This is also in Oregon, so.
Neato. Does a hobbit live in there?
I didn't ask, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Okay.
If like 2 of them lived in there.
Right, because the first one, the first hobbit goes and lives in there, and then the second one comes, and they don't leave because it's very hobbit forming.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
My goodness. So, like I said, Super Chats are open tonight. If you don't know what Super Chat is, it's that little dollar sign thing. You click on that, and then a portion of tonight's proceeds will go to Linda for being on the show.
Yeah.
And you got your eye on some new equipment, I know.
Always.
Yeah.
I've got what they call gas. Ask me what gas is.
I'm sorry. What's the gas?
Gear acquisition syndrome.
Oh, well, I've got gas too. Let's see. We probably should get to the news. Let's do that.
Let's do it.
Stop the music. It's time for news.
All the news you never want to know about in the drone world. It's drone news. Let's head over to the newsroom with Jeff Sales. What's happening, buddy?
Yeah, well, Linda, it is great having you back. You were missed. I will tell you that
Thank
right
you.
now. So
I appreciate that.
Oh,
okay.
Hold on. Thank you very much. Drone Assist Indiana. Glad to catch the show again live, so appreciate what you do. Appreciate it. $5 super chat. Bingo bango. Back to you.
All right. To fire off the news, we've noticed, or I guess if anybody's been watching the news over the past several weeks, flooding is all over the place. We have some new drone footage that came from the Mississippi and Des Perez rivers south of St. Louis.
Yeah, this is so sad. This is going on all over the country. So many people displaced from their homes.
Yeah, the levels recorded are the highest in over 25 years.
Wow.
Yeah, the river Des Perez crested at 30 feet just this last weekend, and it's a tributary to the Mississippi, which was 45.8 feet. So
wow, look at that retaining wall. I mean, that's a strong wall to hold all that back. Gee whiz.
Yeah.
Man. St. Louis. Pretty sure you can't fly that close to the arch anymore. But I won't tell anybody. This isn't my footage, FAA.
Yeah.
Wow. You got any flooding there in Texas?
No, it haven't had any flooding here in Texas, or at least not in my area. But we've had some really bad storms and stuff come through Fort Worth and Dallas. They had a tornado or two, and there's some high winds and stuff. Did a lot of damage there.
Wow. Well, that is a good shot. And we just got another super chat. Thank you very much. The Grumpy Vlogger says, to help with the gas.
Yes.
Yes, we all have gas.
That will be the word of the day.
Yeah.
So this next story actually comes directly from Ken. Thank you very much. You shared this with me. Apparently there was a mystery for a year-long water leak holding up a $15 million building project. And in the process of them searching for the solution, they put a drone up, and the drone detected the water leak.
Yeah, this is Burger King, right?
Yeah, it's the Burger King. It's a Burger King facility, and it's a shop and office complex. It's going to be in Auckland.
Okay.
And they used the thermal imaging to be able to identify where the leak was. They had not been able to find it for over a year.
Drones to the rescue, man. Heck yeah.
Yes.
Awesome.
So to flip the noodle here, we'll go to a story.
What are you doing
about,
with your noodle?
Yeah,
what
we're
do
gonna
you
flip the noodle.
Okay.
Spin the.
Did you just make that
donkey.
up? All right, gotcha.
Yeah, fly the flag.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So after-school programs are now including drones, and this one I thought was highly notable because of the group that's involved in using science and technology with drones.
What does it take to fly from the inside?
Be one with the drone.
Navigating only through a low-res camera, VR goggles, and a control pad.
I'm only seeing what the camera allows me to see.
It's not always graceful.
When you crash the drone, it looks like it's hitting you right in the face.
Carlos Alonso is one of several pilots showcasing their skills at a fundraiser for their group called MindDrive.
It's an after-school program for our high schoolers.
They focus on STEM education for metro schools where students don't always have opportunities like this. Students even built some of these drones. For that, they had to learn soldering as well as coding to install the software that helps them fly.
I like working hands-on. I love working hands-on.
Tyrell Woodard is the group's student president. His focus is automotive tech.
Teach us how to use power tools, basic equipment, basic tools on how to, work on a project.
But maybe more important than the skills.
We're not instructionally based, we're mentor based.
Here, MindDrive, they let you know you actually can be somebody. They're more of a friend than a teacher.
The life lessons that come with them.
They don't tell you what you have to be. They let you choose what you want to be.
For students like Carlos, both will come in handy.
Well, that's cool, man. We need more programs like that all over the country.
Yes, definitely.
Yep.
And I thought that one was a very notable thing to do. Less notable is the next story, which involves a gentleman by the name of Robert Kinser in Lincoln, Nebraska, who thought it'd be a really good idea to use his drone to just start delivering tobacco and marijuana to the local prison.
It's not even a new idea.
No, but what was interesting about this was that it was an inmate in the correctional facility that brought the attention of the officers to the fact that this guy was flying stuff into the prison, which I thought was really funny.
So an inmate ratted him out?
An inmate ratted him out.
Oh, man. You know snitches get stitches, right?
Well, and they actually were able to use the drone, the flight data from the phone, or for the drone, and fingerprints on the equipment to identify who it was and what they were doing.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all wrong. And of course, every time you hear about this kind of story, that they always get caught. They always end up in the jail with the person they're trying to help. And yet more
to be
people
fair,
continue.
Ken, I mean, if they didn't, get caught, you wouldn't hear about it.
Good point.
Yeah. What do they say? The best crime is a crime that nobody knows about. So
Right.
Okay. So
Right,
next
so if you're
in the
thinking
news-
about doing a crime, kids, just listen to Linda. Don't give up.
Right. You too can do it. Matter of fact, maybe I'll give some lessons.
Yeah. You too can be a criminal.
All right.
No.
Yeah, I'm out.
Oh, hold on. Legwork. Thank you so much. $10 super chat. Finally, some glamour on the show. Well, hey, I've been on the show for a while. I don't know what you're talking about, but thank you very much for this. Oh, he's talking about you, Linda. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh! Hold the phones, man. Where's my? Here. Do you see what happened?
I do see what happened.
Mark H. Maybe that was no refunds, Mark. That was probably a slip of the finger. He probably meant to do $10,
That's
right?
crazy, man.
I mean, it's so
That's
easy
crazy.
just to go like that. Well, great work you do, Ken, and tremendous support for the drone community. Keep on. Wow. Mark H, thank you so much. Man, I'm gonna need a moment. It's getting a little warm in here. I'm getting all verklempt. You guys just do your thing. I'll be over here.
Okay, we'll see you later.
I'll be over here evaporating.
So Ken, what else? I mean, Jeff, what else you got going on in the news?
Oh, I got another one. This one's great. Firefighting officials in California and Georgia recently converged in Southern Colorado this week to take part in a yearly drone training exercise.
Oh, this is cool, man. Check it out.
There aren't too many places you can crash and burn a real train. But at this federal facility, 130 miles south of Denver, they're recreating crashes for drone training.
Move that camera to a place that does something valuable.
As more police and fire departments turn to drones, the first responders on the scene arrive by air.
So the more we can use this to do the work rather than send a first responder into harm's way, we're all about that. You're seeing the heat. The heat.
Matt Sloan is CEO of Skyfire. His company trains hundreds of emergency personnel on how to use drones in disasters.
How important is this drone in assessing what's going on?
This is the best tool that we've gotten since the fire hose. So instead of getting out and putting your life in danger, walking behind a house, you can put the drone up in the air in 30 seconds. You can see what's going on.
But firefighters are trained to hold a hose, not one of those. That's where you come in.
Absolutely.
This ball drone has a protective carbon fiber sphere, which gives it the ability to fly into tight spaces and even bounce off walls. Last month, the New York City Fire Department used one in a Manhattan subway tunnel for a mass casualty exercise.
In a fire disaster, a regular drone camera cannot see through flames or smoke. But check this out. Some first responders are using drones with thermal cameras to find hotspots and potential victims.
I think next we're going to start to see gas detection sensors, radiation detectors. We're really just scratching the surface here.
Jeff, is the video freezing up or is that just me? Is it stuttering?
I saw some pausing a little bit on my end as well.
Okay,
so.
Why is it doing that, computer guy?
It could be any number of a million things.
It didn't do it before Linda was on the show.
Yeah, it's probably me.
No. Not going to let you blame Linda.
I wonder why that would be.
It could just be the internet connection. There's no telling.
Yeah.
So it buffered a little bit.
You know what? But it wasn't, because it looked like it was going, and then freezing again. Was it doing that, or is it just I'm monitoring it? Stuff's been. This is, by the way, if you're new to the stream, this is not my house. This is the radio station, and I just discovered as I went downstairs to use the restroom that the water is off here in the building. Oh. There's no water.
Oh.
So I went to the bathroom, but I didn't wash my hands. Ew! I'm gonna touch you. Eee!
Okay.
Jeff doesn't know what to think. Jeff, you continue with the news, man. Just ignore me.
I'm gonna
don't engage me. You just do the news.
All right. So the next thing with I guess fire departments in general, Arizona officials are also once again requesting.
Back to you, buddy. That's the only time I'll do it. I promise.
Okay.
All right.
So in Arizona, officials are begging drone owners to keep from flying their cameras near camera drones from wildfires. It is constantly getting in the way, and they've actually had to stop flying the helicopters and the airplanes at some of the fires that have been going on in that state, because of the fact that these drone pilots are not following the rules and not staying away from the forest fires. So once again, people, please, if you have a drone, don't fly near wildfires.
Who is doing this? It's got to be new drone operators. Anybody that's had a drone for over a year knows these things. It's got to be the guy that sees everybody having fun with drones and like, man, I got to get one of those too. And then they get one, don't read up on the rules, and just goes out and says, first thing, what do you do? How high, how fast, how far, right?
Yeah, or it's that person that they want to get that footage that is something that would spark, say, a YouTube channel or a Twitter feed or Facebook or something in social media that they want to get attention for. And the problem is that in doing so, you're interfering with the people that are trying to save lives and prevent that fire from doing more damage. So
yeah, don't do that. By the way, Lloyd Johnson says that the video is choppy. I apologize for that. It's again, it's probably my backwards bandwidth somehow. I don't know. It couldn't be the computer, could it, Jeff?
No, it's not going to be the computer. So
okay.
All right. So next we have in Dallas recently, they had an apartment building that was damaged by a crane that fell. It did get some people injured, and I believe there was a death involved. But the footage that they got with the drone from that was really sort of spectacular.
Yeah. Even though it's freezing. Are you seeing it freeze?
It does pause.
It froze right there. Okay, let's fix this right now live on the fly. Come on, Jeff, because this is a video-based show.
Yeah, I know.
The show is over before it begins if we can't play any videos. So what's going on?
Yeah, I'm not sure. It doesn't look like it's buffering. It's
pausing and freezing. Well, you remember I had to restart my computer. Is it something? I have no idea. Because I mean, seriously, the show's over. It's done.
Yeah, no. If you restarted the computer, you have a completely fresh. Everything's clear. The memory, all the buffers are cleaned. You have any cache build up or anything like that. So
play this again. I'll play this again. Over here. Okay, so I'm watching it over here. It's fine on the computer. It's not doing it on a computer. It's only doing it. Yeah, it's freezing up in Wirecast.
Yeah, no. If it's freezing up in Wirecast itself, then that's when I would probably want to talk with Greg. He's the Wirecast genius.
You're giving up?
Well, how big is the video? Maybe you're trying to crunch too many little pixels down the tube?
No. Jeff's giving up. Jeff never gives up. Jeff, keep that stiff upper lip, man. We're all dependent on you. I don't know how many people we got watching right now, but we can't give up. Come on there, big fella. Come on, man. You seem down. What's wrong, buddy? Come on, camper. Come on, man. Give me a smile. Show me those pearly whites. Come on there, Jeff. Man. Well, that was fun.
We hope you enjoyed the show.
What do we do? Show's over.
Yeah, I'm not certain as to what's causing that, because if it's playing fine on your system and it goes out to the web that way, it is going to be either Wirecast or your internet connection that's causing that.
Legwork says, Ken, to fix it, open a window, then throw Wirecast out of it. Yeah. Yeah, you did. I paid $1,000 for this Wirecast. I'm going to use it till it dies. Maybe if I restart Wirecast? I don't know. What do you think, Jeff?
Now, that's a possibility. Everything, I guess in the IT world, everything gets fixed if you restart it.
I want to go make some popcorn, so I have something to eat while I watch this go down.
Is somebody trying to reach you to help us? Jeff,
No,
Jeff, you're giving me a deer in the headlights look. You're the guy I go to for this. It doesn't matter that we're live on here. It doesn't matter. Let's fix this damn thing. Let's do it now. Give me options. This is the guy I go to. Anything happens, I'm like, Jeff, what's going on? And now he's like,
Well,
I don't know.
The thing is that you can restart Wirecast, and if it continues doing that, then it would be a buffering issue with the internet connection. And
it's not, because I'm not getting an error on the. I'll show everybody real quick. Camera 2. Now you can't see it that well, but there's a little green light over here, and it's not saying it's bad.
Okay.
So if I stop the stream and then restart it very quickly, YouTube should glue it together.
That's what is done in the past.
But will it kick everybody out who's watching? That's the only thing, because there's a lot of people watching. If I do that and it kicks them out, they're not going to come back. They're going to be like, meh. I wouldn't stick around. This show's suddenly gotten boring. Let's see, we got 268 people watching this train wreck. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to restart Wirecast. What do you guys think in the chat? You tell me what you think. Because we got
River Mersey says they would always rejoin.
Okay. Well, thank you. Will you guys come back if I just do a quick call Oz by drone? Yeah. Let's see if he's even called me. He usually called. No, he doesn't care. Okay. Usually it's Greg's like, oh, here's your solution right here, but Greg's off doing something else. All right. So I think what I'll do is.
Linda's over here entertaining everybody.
Yeah. I think what I'll do is I'll restart after I thank Todd Fox, $5 super chat. Linda and Ken, thanks for all you do. Here's support for the fix. I'll come back. Okay. All right. So 272 people watching right now. If I restart it and there's not at least 272 people watching, I will be very sad. All right, let's try this. And if you're watching the replay later, it'll be like, boop, it won't even be a thing for you. So don't worry about that. Linda, will you come back?
I've got a tool, dude.
She's got a tool. All right, so here we go. This should be painless, right? Oh,
yes, it is painless. There is no pain involved in restarting.
Okay, here we go. Stand by.
And Greg just texted me and said, call him.
Oh, okay.
What do we call him?
And
Can
now
we call him Greg?
And now here's Linda with a joke.
I said, what can we call him? Can we call him Greg?
No, a joke.
Oh, Ken Heron. This is, ladies and gentlemen, this is the point of the show where Ken is having an inner meltdown.
Oh, I totally am.
Like he's funny on the outside, but inside.
And I can't even find out where to call Greg or whatever. Where's the freaking frackin' frick frack? Let's just call him and bring him in. Let's bring him in on the thing. Why not? And you guys just sit there and don't say anything. Whatever you do, just don't say anything.
I'm going to say nothing. Actually, what I want to talk about, really, since I'm given this opportunity now.
Yeah.
Let me talk about. I'm potentially going to do a show on my channel.
Don't do it. Don't do it. It's horrible.
I want to talk about photography stuff with people.
It'll give you
friends.
It'll give you a coronary.
Come join my channel.
Greg.
Hello.
Hey, Greg. How you doing? Welcome to the show. What's going on? Do I restart Wirecast? What's going on?
Before you do, I want you to do a couple of things for me. Up on the screen in the top right part of the screen.
Yeah.
Can you see how much CPU it's using? Is there a number there?
Yeah, 20%.
Okay, click the label where it says app CPU or system CPU and it'll change to the other. What's the number there?
Wait,
just in front of the number, there's a label. Does it say app or system?
System CPU is 23%.
Okay, so it's not CPU related, which is what I was hoping to find.
Okay.
Do me one more favor.
Yeah.
Open up on the, I think it's the upward menu, show statistics.
Uh-huh. Yeah, go on. Where's that? A little behind the scenes for you.
I'm out in a supermarket, so I can't look at my screen, but there's show statistics as one of the menu items. I think it's under view.
View? Where's view? Yeah. See, I never open up. I don't open up the hood. File. This is so boring. We're leeching people.
You can reboot it if you want. Then there's nothing else. If you can't find the stats, I was going to try and capture it while you were there.
Oh no! I just want to make it work now. I don't care about stats.
Finding the root cause. Okay, reboot.
We don't have time for that. We got hundreds of people watching. What the hell are you thinking?
Well, first, I want to do this for me. Screw those hundreds of people.
Restart Wirecast. Go on.
All right.
You know you want to.
I don't. I guarantee people won't come back. Hey, you want to come back to see me crying? All right, I'll see you, man. Thanks, Greg. Wow. All right then. See you in a minute. Love you, mean it. Hope you come back. Okay. All right, we should be back. Now let me call standby. Let me put this hold music on. All right. I did it pretty quickly. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I am in hell. All right. Now I got to call Linda and Jeff. Let's see if we can get them back on. This is horrible. This is my worst nightmare ever. Well, not ever. I mean, there are worse things can happen. Third world problems, right? Or first world problems. All right, Jeff, you there, buddy? You there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. There you are. Okay, so we got you.
Yeah.
And then now let's go ahead and bring Linda in as Jeff tells us a joke.
Well, let's see. Wow. You caught me off guard. I'm always sitting there thinking you're going to ask me this. I don't know what joke.
Hello.
And we got nothing. Oh, there she is. All right. Yep. And we're back. We're back and we're whole again. You think? Let's try to play the crane crash video and see what happens. All right. So tell us about the crane crash.
Okay. The crane crash was in Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, from what I understand, the apartment complex that was nearby was struck when the train or the crane had just a technical failure.
Yeah.
And it went through the facility of the apartment, and there was also a parking garage nearby. I thought that it damaged as well, that had a bunch of cars hanging off of it. I mean, it was
That's
a
pretty
spectacular
bad.
crash.
Nobody was injured or killed or anything? Let's just go with no.
I thought that I had read in the actual news story that they had one injury.
Okay.
But I'm not finding a reference to it.
Okay. All right, good. Well, it seems as though that played fine, and I think restarting that seemed to work. It was great to talk to Greg, and I think the people came back. Love you guys so much. We have the best audience ever. All right, now we're running a little bit late. I want to apologize to Dan Stinnett. We're going to talk to him in just a few minutes. What's the next story? Is that it?
We have one last story to share with everybody, and this one was the one that I thought was my favorite. The Miami police are currently searching for a thief who broke into a car last week and stole a drone.
Mm-hmm.
But the drone that they stole was worth $30,000.
Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! And they used it to fly drugs into a prison, right?
No.
No. Oh, okay.
Kira Delva, or not Kira Delva, a Spanish tourist brought the drone to the United States and was wanting to sell it to the police and fire department agencies to, I guess, augment their capabilities. It was an Oxdro LFG drone, which is worth about $30,000. Wow. And they're still looking for the drone. It's specifically designed for search and rescue operations, surprisingly. They use it primarily for looking for lost swimmers.
That's really cool. See, they haven't found it.
They have not found it that I'm aware of.
And all they have to do is look in the pawn shops. You know that's where it's going to be. Dude's going to bring it to a pawn shop, and the pawn shop guy, he won't know anything about it. I'll give you $30 for it. That's what it'll be. That's what it'll be. All right, Jeff, do you have any other news? Any other personal stories? I do want to get your opinion very quickly on this thing. This thing has been released by DJI, and as far as I can tell, it doesn't look like a Phantom 5, does it? No, it doesn't. So why were they wasting their time and resources creating a toy car when they could have been making my Phantom 5, Jeff?
Because DJI is involved in a robot competition in China and overseas that uses little devices like this, and it's been around for several years now, and it's a very competitive environment, and they're producing this to, I guess, help enhance the knowledge of that particular competition. Not to mention the fact this is a little robot that comes to you completely disassembled. So the first thing you have to do when you get it is to build it and put it together. So this is a learning tool. It's really designed for kids. It's designed for schools. I think it's a great opportunity for DJI to open, I guess, a new window.
I mean, I can see the benefit for kids, and it would be fun. I mean, you and I, we had erector sets when we were growing up, and that's really what this is. It's a high-tech erector set. But for me personally, I thought that for sure they were going to have some other kind of what's this?
Bit to the handle in order to use the small end.
Okay, I mean this thing it takes a while to put together, doesn't it?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. It's a complex little device, but the thing is, I mean, I've got 5 boys. They would go crazy for that thing.
And it shoots little things at you?
It has a laser, an infrared laser that it fires, and then it shoots what they call water pellets, which is essentially like soft air pellets, but they're made out of a water gelatin, so they don't hurt you that bad.
I mean that does sound cool. And if you've seen it moving, it's got these wheels. You can go sideways any direction with it. That's very fascinating. I've seen those on large forklifts. But let's watch this little bitty video that will tell us some more about this wonderful device.
Meet the RoboMaster S1, the smart educational robot that opens up a whole new world of learning. Experience fast-paced driving action, whether you're by yourself or with a friend. Something in the way? Check this out. With the Mechanim wheels, your movement options are limitless. From the brushless motor to the front axle suspension, every inch of the S1 is jam-packed with advanced technologies.
So your kids are going to want one of these?
Oh, I guarantee my kids are going to want one of those, and I would love to get one. Just trying to figure out how I'd come up with $499.
It's a great learning tool to teach. I mean, it could inspire kids to become engineers or programmers. I think that's a wonderful thing, absolutely wonderful thing. And anything that would take a kid's face away from a screen these days is a good thing. Although you do need a screen to program it. But anyway, I think this is a great little platform for an actual real camera. That's what I thought it was at first when I saw it. I thought, oh wow, they made a rolling dolly platform and maybe they'll do that. Maybe you can get this toy and then put a real actual good camera on it. What do you think?
It has the DJI, I guess, software inside of it that allows you to do tracking and stuff like that. And one of the things that I thought was really cool was one of the guys that demonstrated it basically turned it on and set himself as the target for it to track and follow him. And as he was literally running down a path, the thing was keeping up with him, and he would make a turn, and those odd wheels, it would slide sideways and avoid, obstacles and stuff. It was really impressive.
That is cool.
So,
it is neat. I'll give it that. I mean, I don't have any kids, so I don't have any skin in the game. But you got what? How many kids you got now? Like 19 or something? How many you got?
5 boys.
You got a whole. You got a whole rugby team over there. But still, as cool as it is, it's still not my Phantom 5. Which they're working on that now, right? They're like, okay, we're done with this robot now. Back at the Phantom 5, right?
As soon as somebody gives them enough competition that they feel a need to build a Phantom 5, I'm pretty sure that they'll build one.
That is absolutely true, unfortunately. Well, Jeff, thank you so much for both parts of the news. We appreciate it.
Always a pleasure, sir.
See you, buddy.
Thanks for stopping by. Now get out.
Ah, well, it's always fun hanging around with Jeff Sills. There's a link in the description if you want to subscribe to his channel. There's also a link to Linda's channel. What do you got on there? What do you got on your channel?
I got some videos.
Videos? Let's
They're about time-lapse stuff mostly. Some drone stuff.
You do a fantastic job with time-lapse. I don't think I've seen anybody do a better job, even on like Discovery Channel stuff. I'm going to share one of your.
That's very kind of you.
One of your videos here. This is so. All right, I'll let you choose. Bloom or monsoon?
Well, I don't know. Do you want to see time-lapse or do you want to see some drone stuff?
Well, we're talking about time-lapse. Let's do that. What, Bloom?
Let's do the monsoon one then.
Monsoon. Okay, so this is Linda, Clever Dark Elf. So how long are you sitting out in the desert for these things?
A long, long, long time.
Linda lives in Arizona.
I live in the desert.
Plenty of weather events and great stars out there once you get away from the city.
That's right. I'm about to embark on this mission again starting next week, so...
And where are you going?
I'll be all over Arizona, and then after that I'll be doing portrait stuff, and after that I'll be back in Oregon shooting again.
How do you get in the right spots for these things? That's a big part of it.
Yeah, you have to learn a fair amount of meteorology type stuff and learn how to do some forecasting and look at weather data to try to position yourself well.
And sometimes, I mean, you can get in a dangerous position, it looks like.
Yeah,
you have to get close enough to your subject.
I probably should have sent you a picture. I have some photos where I've almost gotten struck by lightning, and that's been that's the scariest part of it.
I remember that one thing. There's a video on my channel if you want to see Linda almost getting struck by lightning. Scroll back.
Like almost struck, like it struck like 100 yards outside my car.
Oh.
Maybe 100 yards. Yeah, it was terrifying.
Well,
I had just gotten in my car, so but if I had been outside, I'm sure that I would have gotten
so she
toasted.
Clearly suffers for her art and is out there risking her life to bring you this beautiful stuff. The least you could do is subscribe to her channel. Oh, you must have been losing your mind when you saw that rainbow appearing, huh? Because you can't plan that. Or can you?
The rainbow? Yeah, no, you can't really plan for that. I mean, I could see it coming, and so I pulled over on the side of to the side of the road as fast as I could, which is why the foreground looks not super great. But yeah, you can't. I tried to keep an eye open for it, like I know what the conditions are for there to be a rainbow, but I don't really know for sure if I'm going to see one or not.
So you're a photographer and storm chaser.
Yeah, I do that, and I try to do a fair amount of it. I feel like the only way to kind of get better at it is to keep doing more of it. So
right. Well,
I've done it for 4 years now.
I think you've perfected it. Oh, look at this. And you have your partner, your filming partner with you.
Not always, but I would say 90% of the time he's with me.
And we're talking about her now 13-year-old dog Gizmo.
That is right. He's my buddy. He's my buddy.
This is so mesmerizing.
I'm glad you like it.
Yeah, I'm getting lost in it. I'm going to go ahead and stop it now, just because.
Go ahead.
It's probably gonna cause some seizures. I didn't give a seizure warning to those who are set off by flashing lights. But that's awesome. And again, the link is in the description if you want to check her stuff out. Now we must get over and call our first guest. And I apologize for being so late. Dan Stinnett is standing by as I blow up the stream again by.
Is there a way, Ken, that you can see it? I can't actually see any of the broadcast on my end of the call here. I can only see it if I look on YouTube.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I didn't really want to say anything earlier, but
No. You know what? That is very true. I was in such a hurry to get the stream going. I'm going to call you right back, and then you'll see it. Okay.
All right. Thanks.
Okay. So I hung up on her. That was just me. I hope you guys like train wrecks. Guys, it sure is fun, isn't it? Alexa, tell me a joke.
Why can't the bumblebee choose which flower to land on?
Why?
It's having a floral dilemma.
Hey, Alexa, tell me a better joke.
Why was the cloud so dark and stormy?
Why?
It was feeling misunderstood.
Misunderstood. Whoo, man. Okay, so now we got that set up so Linda can see, which means our guest can see, and now I'm calling Linda back.
Hello.
Linda!
I'm back.
She's
Maybe?
back and better than ever. Linda?
Yes.
I'll be over here sulking.
I don't understand what's going on.
Did you turn your camera on?
Yeah, I'm assuming it turns on automatically. Let me see in my settings.
I don't think it does. Anyway, how you guys doing in the chat? Yeah, this is my favorite train wreck. UAT says, oh, now there's 286 people watching. It's a net gain. We have more people watching this.
My webcam is on because when I go into the Skype settings, I can see my own video.
Oh, well, I'll call you back and we'll try it again.
Okay.
Okay, back. You know, this really is, I have to let you know, this is fun for me. I enjoy this, but I do spend 2 solid days putting this together. All the stories and all the things and everything that you don't see behind the scenes. And when it falls apart like this, I mean, I even got my hair good today. So let me try her one more time. Let's bring Linda in. Please.
How about now?
Sweet. There we go. She's back. Woo!
I'm back.
All right, from here on out, show's gonna be perfect. Now, back to the music. We're gonna call Dan. Oh, I am so sorry. So sorry, Dan.
You're an awful person and you should feel bad.
You're right. You're right about that. All right. Bringing in Mr. Dan. He does a lot of filming in a helicopter for people in the DC area. Let's see if we can bring him in here.
There we go.
Dan?
I was feeling a certain amount of compassion for you doing your train ride this evening because I was having one myself not half an hour ago as I tried to set things up.
Okay, well, welcome. I appreciate that that bright red light that's on your face. You kind of look like a lobster.
Yeah, I thought it would look cool, and now I'm thinking it just makes me look like I've got I've laid out in the sun too long. I even put a little haze into the mix tonight, so that. Oh,
I see. Oh, you're in a professional studio.
Well, so if you see you hear a fire alarm going off, you know what's happened. I just wanted to get that out there ahead of the game.
Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, I don't mind the red. It's very.
Move out of the.
It's very red. I mean, I have nothing against red Americans. Just know that. So, Dan, where are you in the world? And please tell everybody who you are and what you do.
All right. Well, I do a lot of different things. I'm an engineer here at DC 101 and 5 other radio stations in Washington, D.C. Like yourself, I've been in radio for a number of decades, so I've had my fingers in a lot of pies. I do some weekend shifts on Big 100, the classic rock station. The alternative rock is DC 101. And then on my side hustle, I work for a company that contracts with local news stations for their helicopter aerial footage. And I've been doing that off and on, mostly on, for about 19 years. Started when I moved out to Los Angeles for a little while. Usually just kind of the third string backup talent out there. And then I took an interest in it. So
okay. And
I stayed aware of the industry and tried to keep in it.
That's really cool. And I like talking to a radio brother, but I got to tell you, if you could just kill that red light, that would please me.
Yeah.
Quite a deal, yeah. And it seems like, are you on the same?
Wi-Fi, and I'll kill the...
I knew it. I knew it was too good to be true. It's not your fault, Dan.
Hang in there, Ken. Let me talk you off the ledge.
Yeah, please. And
oh,
there we go. Now you're getting closer to whatever Wi-Fi source you have because you're.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. Now the signal's a lot better too.
Okay, good.
If you could
All
just
right, we'll stick with that then.
right there is perfect.
Turn some light on here. Hang, I'm coming up.
Ah, wonderful. Oh my goodness.
Right.
If anybody has any questions in the chat for Dan, like please feel free to ask. Ah, that's perfect. Wonderful. All right. So
I'm getting a quizzical look from your other guests.
what is
quite sure. What about me? She finds puzzling and hideous.
Yeah, Linda, what's your problem?
Nothing. I'm just watching this all unfold from the comfort of my office chair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
Each one of us has comfort.
I could talk to you all day long about radio stuff because we're just a couple of radio guys, but I really wanted to talk to you about your side hustle, your helicopter camera job, and so how long have you been doing that? And have you noticed that since drones came into the picture, has it been pushing those jobs aside? Have drones taken over some of your gigs at all?
I don't think they really have at this point. I remember people speculating that they would more than 10 years ago. I thought it was a pretty far out concept at that time. And it turns out, they were right. This is going to be a force to be acknowledged and to dovetail with manned aircraft in the future. There's a couple of reasons, I think, why news stations who want to have a competitive edge use a helicopter. One is the perspective, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
The other is that, if it's 5 o'clock on a Friday afternoon and you have to get to the other side of a sprawling metropolis like DC or LA, you've got to do it fast, and that gives you a speed advantage that you're just not going to get with a news van, especially if you're going somewhere where things don't often happen, but they're happening today, so you don't necessarily have somebody stationed there all the time.
Right. Could I ask you to do one more thing?
Yes, please stop scratching
the audio is driving me insane. Can you pull out and just use because it's like when you watch this back, you're gonna be like, oh, why didn't he tell me so? I'm telling you,
that'll be hellish. Okay, let me try going off of Bluetooth, and I'll hopefully improve it because the Pixel has pretty good mics.
Okay. we did do a test call and everything was fine on the test call. I apologize.
Everything's great.
Gray bearded drone pilot, $10 super chat. Thank you. Could I please have large eyes for my Phantom 4 Pro? Sure. And while he's getting his mic ready, I'll remind everybody that I have these eyeballs for sale right now. You can put these on your drone. These actually do keep birds away. And I have them in chocolate and vanilla and large and small for any kind of drone. I also now have my Heron aerial logo in large and small and chocolate and vanilla. So specify which one you want, $10 super chat or $10 PayPal to this address, kenheronupload@gmail.com. Give me your address and what flavor you would like, and I'll get that right to you. Ooh, the crackling went away.
How's that?
Oh, that's perfect. That's perfect. So you don't think that that drones will completely take over? Because I know that in search and rescue scenarios here in my area, I've been called upon when the ceiling has been too low for an actual manned helicopter to get in there. And I mean, there are situations where drones would be better than a manned helicopter.
Well, I want to be clear, Ken. I in no way marginalize the impact of drones, not at all. If anything, I think a company that's doing news gathering from aircraft now, let's put it this way. A lot of people like to go out, grab a drone, get a web domain, say they've got a business, but really the logistics go further than that into hiring people, into dealing with insurance issues, and to staffing, especially for a 24-hour day operation. So I think companies that are using manned aircraft who accept and look in the eye that drones are going to be part of this landscape, and then are able to utilize those skills in having adequate contacts in areas where they're going to have qualified pilots. They're going to have knowledge of the insurance and the airspace regulations, especially in a complex airspace like Washington, D.C., where you better not step over the wrong line or the penalties can be even more severe than they are.
Right, because
a lot of other airspace.
The airspace is really wonky in D.C. I mean, you have to be really careful where to go.
It is odd. I've pulled it up a little bit here. You know, I've got the map behind me. There's the ADIZ, the air defense zone there, and there's a 7-mile ring around the National Mall, the White House, etc. And that's pretty much going to be military, police, and medevac exclusively, with a few exceptions. You know, like when the Nationals won the tournament, they were able to get permission to go in there. But there were even airports inside that zone pre 9/11 that have become just fields of rusty hangars because they won't let people fly into and out of there without piles of paperwork. Then there's a wider zone, the bigger circle behind me, where you can fly with background checks and certain restrictions. But it's not just, you know, whizzing around. You've got to really have a reason to go there. It's got to be in your flight plan. If you're going to be on one side of it and go to the other side for an event outside of the zone, then you're supposed to go around. So that can, you know, affect your deployment time.
Right. You sent me.
They get some pushback, but
I'm sorry. It's kind of a weird delay thing. I apologize. I have some pictures that you sent me. This is one of the helicopters that you worked in. Is clearly a CBS affiliate. Is this typically the type of helicopter that you're in?
Yeah, that was about that one's about 18 years ago, 17, 18 years ago in LA. That was News Chopper 2, and that's an A-Star. That's typical. It can be a Jet Ranger, an A-Star, sometimes a Robinson R-44, 66. That's the space shuttle. I haven't been in that one. I just, like I said, my email. A couple pics that made me look cool in there.
Yeah, that definitely looks cool, man. I'm going to flip through some of these. I particularly like this one because it's my favorite color, Kawasaki green.
Kawasaki green, you recognize it. That's right. I enjoyed flying around in that one, too.
Wow, okay. And let's see what else we got. Oh, okay. Now this is the stuff right here. This is what the police use to find those criminals, and you see this on cops a lot. That's the FLIR. So do you operate that as well?
Yeah, that's what I operate. Some of the police ones are outfitted, you know, maybe they might have thermal on them. They might have a laser designator for lighting up the area, say a suspect's in the woods and they want the ground team to be able to see on their night vision goggles where they're at, and they'll paint that area with a laser.
Right.
They do overlays where you can see the streets and the names, almost like a 3D Google map layover on the live imagery.
Wow.
Pretty cool. Now that's... Go ahead.
Do you ever get bored of being in a helicopter? I just can't imagine. I mean, you've spent many, many hours up there. It never gets old, does it? Does it?
You know, well, I mean, I always look forward to it. I've probably been over some wildfires back when I was in Florida, where, you know, I've done 6 hours of wildfire coverage in a day, and in a unit with no air conditioning, and I might be ready to get out by the end of it for sure.
Right. What's the whole process like? Are you on a retainer? How is it from like an event happening to you being in there with the camera and everything? How does that happen?
It can vary a little bit depending on company situation, time of week. You know, the weekend might be different than the week. But as a rule, when they call, you know, you're airborne in a matter of probably 10 minutes or so, as a rule. And you know, they'll call you up, tell you what it is, where it is, and you've got to call ATC, get your clearance, set up a path for it, check your TFRs, etc. Sometimes TFRs can spring up. You know, if it's a situation where police are present, they may not want the imagery going out to show where they are. They may not want you interfering with their operations. Then you've got things like the Air Force Base here, where there'll be a ramp freeze, and suddenly you can't fly around that part of the circle because there's a VIP coming in.
Okay.
Like that.
Looks like Linda may have a question.
Sure.
I don't really have a question. I feel like this is just very interesting to hear about your job. I mean, the only thing that I can contribute is I used to work in air traffic control, so I know some of that stuff.
That's right. You did. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think it's kind of a cool thing to hear about. So I'm just paying attention and listening. I'm not necessarily checking out or anything.
Okay. Well, have you ever been in a airspace when a TFR is created right on top of you?
I don't know if I have or not. Oh, you mean him?
Well, either one of you.
They'll advise you if they're going to create one that you're, in a space where you're already in. There was one the other day that we were just outside of, and they said, we're expanding it from 1.5 miles to 3. So get out in the next few seconds.
Oh, they give you time. Okay. Well,
yeah. And sometimes it may be valid, and sometimes you may think, well, it's been a while. Have they forgotten about this? Because let's push it and ask and see if it's appropriate for us to get in there at this point. Once you know that like situations have changed, the police helicopters left or the threat's gone down.
Mm-hmm. I know there's people watching that are very interested in the technology that you use inside, and I know there's probably a few that are envisioning you as a helicopter cameraman hanging out the side with the camera on a strap or something, and that's not the case at all. Let me go ahead and try to find here. I'll just flip through some of these here. This is you doing a Coca-Cola commercial here for us, and let me just
I'm over
flip
the
through.
CIA.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, so is this the camera that you're using?
That's one type that we use, and that's a carbon fiber body on a Cineflex. I've used a few different incarnations of that. One of them, I had a very long zoom lens on it, and the distance from the pad to my condo building is 19 miles as the crow flies. I could make out the individual windows on my condo building as we touched down.
Wow.
With a version of that with a longer lens on it. And
wow.
Yeah, that's a really good one. That's, I believe, a 7-axis fiber optic gyroscope. And doesn't matter how much turbulence you get into or how much anything's shaking around, that thing is rock solid on what you're pointing at.
And this is the interface.
When you're zoomed in.
This is the interface on your lap, right?
Yeah, so you've got one side that handles the controls for the gimbal, and the other is an insert that takes care of all the camera controls. So you've got your different neutral density filters and f-stops, iris, etc. on there. Then there's a separate unit that controls your microwave shot. So that creates a beacon, basically a straight line. It using GPS points at your designated receive site.
Oh, that's
the receive
right.
site spin, points at you. Back in the old days, they would use an audio channel and then put a modem on it, and that would push the GPS coordinates over the audio channel so that it could tune into. But now it's all in a digital transport stream.
Okay,
and you can go. I've seen it go 80 miles probably, and still have a solid signal.
I'm just fascinated with this. How do you get a gig like that? How do you say, okay, I'll ride in a helicopter all day and play with the camera? How do you do that?
Yeah, at the time back in LA, it dovetailed off of radio. I was my station had flipped formats. I needed a gig. I went and started reporting traffic from the studio in the morning. And then one day I said, hey, how about some of those fixed wing aircraft? And they said, oh, really? Most people don't want to do that. And I said, really? There's people that don't want to fly? So I did some fill in on that. And then I asked, hey, can I go on the helicopter too? And they said, sure. And I went, that was easy. Weird.
Yeah. I want to remind everybody in the chat, if you're missing out on some chat, it's probably because you have it on Top Chat. YouTube, for some reason, will default to Top Chat. So make sure you, at the top left in your chat window, choose Live Chat, and you will see all of the messages. Now, you've met some interesting people. I just happened upon this interesting person right here, the real Buzz. When did you meet him?
Yeah, that was big. He came in for the morning show on Elliot in the Morning on DC 101. And what's funny is my brother, who passed a few years ago, he had this Buzz Lightyear he'd take all over the world. He was a jet pilot. And he would take pictures of Buzz in different places. And I said, I'll be damned, Buzz Aldrin's here, and I've got Buzz Lightyear in my car. So as soon as he stepped away, I said, I'm going to meet this one. I usually let the celebs go, but I'm going to meet this one. And I walked up to him, and he happened to have in his hand a I'm the Real Buzz T-shirt. So I said, well, this was meant to be.
Yeah, that's a perfect photo op. And this is a pretty good photo op too. I don't know how many. Let me quiz Linda. Linda, do you know who this is, or was?
Couldn't tell you.
Yeah. Have you ever snapped into a Slim Jim, Linda?
Is it Macho Man Randy Savage?
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow. Very good.
Nice.
Yeah. Now I'm not a wrestling fan. Are you a wrestling fan, Dan?
I think everybody is at heart.
Well, I was when I was 12.
When was that picture taken? What year was that?
I'd say 96, probably, something like that.
Mark Rogers.
Actually, they were in town for an event, and I got to eat dinner with him and his wife, and they were both just lovely, down-to-earth people.
Yeah, I have Kelly Green, my other co-host. He loves wrestling. He would want to shake your hand just because you shook his hand. And Mark Rogers says, "Oh yeah." Let me just go through a couple more of these pictures here. This is the view from Dan's office.
That's Orlando, back in the day. That's a Robinson R44.
Wow.
And that's pretty good aircraft. It's a piston aircraft instead of a jet. It's efficient and fast, but it does not have the payload capacity of a Jet Ranger or an A-Star. So I remember one scene where the news director was yelling at me like, "Hey, how come I see the car on our channel and I see the license plate on the competition?" I was like, "Well, they're in a Bell 407. They can carry optics that are much, much larger." And that's the reality of it. There's no free lunch. There's always some trade-off, expense versus, payload capacity.
Right.
Endurance is a big thing. That's one thing. You give it 3 hours if you treat it right, and the weather conditions are right out of a helicopter, and drones are yet to catch up there.
And
although we do have some big drones around here, jet-powered drones, you'll see once in a while.
Where is this, sir? Where are you? It looks precarious.
That's near Tampa, Florida. There was a receive antenna at the top of that tower, as well as the radio station. And that's about 1,300 feet. So it was so high up, I almost couldn't even see that my car was there. It was like a nut. There was an elevator to get there, so that was good. And
wow.
That's Miami. I don't know if that's there anymore. That was a long time ago, about 10 years ago.
Is that an STL or is that a transmitter or receiver? Are you going sterile as you're standing there?
As it turns out, I might have been, because I didn't realize there was a TV antenna on that same roof. But and it did take me a while to have a kid after that.
Yeah, you can. I mean, people don't realize you can damage yourself by getting too close to all that RF, like for realsies.
Yeah, I know it. Now, that one's received, and that's one of the ones that would point at the helicopter based on the GPS position. So that spins around in there and follows the helicopter.
Okay. Lindy, you have any questions for Dan?
I don't.
Okay.
Like I said earlier, I just find this fascinating to hear. I don't know a lot about that. I mean, I know a lot about camera stuff, but I've never really had the opportunity to hear from somebody who flies them in the sky like that.
Linda, would you fly in a helicopter?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
What part of the country are you in? I'll hook you up.
I'm in Arizona. Come on over. I'm in Phoenix.
Yeah. Now I've got a
side hustle. See what's out there for you.
I have some hours already too. I've piloted some aircraft.
Nice.
What have you piloted, Linda?
Mostly this small single prop type aircraft, the Cirrus and Cessna and that kind of stuff.
Oh, neat.
Hey, the Cirrus. That's a great aircraft.
It's a beautiful aircraft.
Here's a side piece to talk about with regard to the Cirrus. There's a company somewhere in this region. I don't honestly know exactly where they're based, but they have a Cirrus, and there's a camera on the bottom there that each pixel represents essentially a car, and they'll fly for hours over a city, as they did during the riots in Baltimore a couple of years ago. And if something happens, they can zero in on that grid square and then basically TiVo backwards and see where that car came from. And it won't be a great deal of resolution. Like I say, the car's maybe a pixel, but they can see the originating point of that car.
Wow. Now here's the green copter again.
Yeah, I didn't realize I had that one in slow motion, but I was playing around with I think at that time I had the Samsung. I have the Pixel now, but I was checking out the slow motion feature.
Have you ever had any close calls into chopper?
Get to the chopper! Thank you for that.
Yeah.
No, I've been fortunate that everything's always gone really well. I've always worked with very safe pilots. We have the right as a photographer to say, hey, I'm not comfortable with any aspect of this.
Right.
Then I have the right, as would anybody on board, to say this is not happening regardless of what any news.
Yeah, I mean, if you have a bad feeling that day, just don't go, right?
Yeah.
And I have one more bit of video here. This is a crane. You sent me this. What's the story going on with this thing here?
That one, I was just on my way back to the airport, and just happened to spot this guy installing air conditioners on a roof. So I thought, let's just hold up here for a minute and get a little footage of it. I just thought it was interesting. It looks like, I couldn't tell you, but probably a 60s era helicopter.
So you're in another helicopter, just to let everybody know. You're in a second helicopter.
Yeah, exactly.
I wanted to ask you. I wanted to ask you, what are the rules, the etiquette, as far as like if there's a news story and there's all these stations, helicopters on the story, how do you guys organize how close to get to each other and where to be with that? I've always worried about that.
There is competition, but you deal with personal relationships like a lot of businesses. They help a guy's habits, and it comes down even to knowing the color of his aircraft. I mean, some stations will say, hey, ours will look cool in black and red. That's great, but it's going to be invisible at certain times early in the morning versus the white one. So you just have to be up on the radios a lot. You have to know each other's schedules, and you have to make sure that you're giving them the lights and every bit of visibility that you can. And then that's, going back last couple of years, we've of course got ADS-B. We try to do, real-time maps. I've got my iPad in the back, and I might have ForeFlight on there, and I can actually push that up over the lightning connector into the pilot's monitor. So I can augment his situational awareness with whatever I've found.
Very cool, man. Well, we see how time slipped away. You're a very fascinating guy. Thank you for making time to talk with us. Before I let you go, we do this thing with our guests every week. It's called Would You Ride It? And essentially it's a weird manned drone contraption that somebody has made or a company has made, or they're trying to fly an actual person. And so this week's is called the Mad Tox Quattrocopter. Let me know if you would ride in this thing. I'm a hard no on most of these, although this one has the hanging, and you can see that part of that metal has been bent from a hard landing.
Motors?
Yeah, I'm a no on this, but it does look fun until it's not.
It does look fun. There was definitely a time when I would have ridden in it. Ever since I gained a child, and now I have to remain alive for her.
Yes.
I've been making different decisions.
Yes, that can really influence your decision whether to bungee jump or skydive or any number of things. So what are people saying in the chit chat here? Let's see. TJ Grady says, for sure. Debbie Christmas says yes. What's that?
If DJI made it, I might do it, because I'm beginning to trust them, because I've lost my drone so many times over the ocean or a lake, and it always comes home.
Yeah.
So maybe once they get to that level of refinement.
Yeah, true. And this thing could have like shock absorbers in the legs, or a big soft thing underneath in case it all went to hell in a handbasket. What are people saying? I would totally ride it, Ken. Quentin Thompson, you crazy, crazy man. Debbie and Earl, hell yeah! Yeah, let us know in the chat if you would ride this thing. I don't have a lot of information about it. I do know that this guy built it himself, and he's got a girlfriend there to help him. So that's all I know. Awesome. Well, thank you very much again for making time with us. Dan Stinnett, what do you got coming up in the future? You got a cookbook? You're going to be in a movie? What anything you want to promote before we let you go?
What do I want to mode. I don't know. Check out our radio station. DC 101 is one of the heritage signals remaining in the country. A lot of legends have gone off the air recently. The Loop 98 in Chicago, gone now. PLJ in New York, gone now. The Sound in LA. So we've got a station that's still very forward thinking, but has been on the air for over 40 years. First station, the AM version ever to play a Beatles record in America. Actually got Elvis Presley live on the phone as he was being drafted. Got some cool history to it.
Wow.
And still got what I think is the best morning show in America, which I'm not part of it, so I can say that. Elliot in the morning.
Awesome. Thank you, sir, for being on. I really appreciate it.
Yeah,
Thank you, Linda. Thank you, Ken.
All right. We'll talk to you later.
Appreciate you thinking of me. I pulled the wool over your eyes.
See you, bud. All right. All right. Bye.
See ya.
All right. Well, he was cool, wasn't he, Linda?
That was super interesting. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, I mean, it did kind of go long, and I apologize to our Canadian friend who is standing by.
Yeah, I too. I have to leave in about 15 minutes.
You do?
I have to go to a Skywarn meeting tonight for the storm chasing.
Oh my goodness. Well, let's get this guy on. Here is Linda with a joke.
Ken Heron. I didn't prepare any jokes.
You
and then
know
when
how
you put me
this-
on the spot, I don't.
You know how this works. Oh. Alexa, tell me a joke.
Where can you find the leprechaun fraternity?
Where?
At the end of the rainbow.
Bro.
Hmm.
Bruh.
I don't know where she gets her jokes, but it's pretty bad. All right, we're calling Francois. He said his last name was too hard to pronounce, and I'm going to believe him. So he's in Canada. We're going to talk to him very quickly. There he is. Welcome to the show, my friend. I am so sorry that you had to wait with all the conundrums that have been going on.
Looking at the count there, you didn't lose too much for that.
Yeah. I appreciate it. We have good people watching. Love you. Mean it. So what part of Canada are you in?
I'm in Quebec.
Quebec, all right. And you're a professional Part 107 equivalent, a professional...
The equivalent, yes.
Yeah,
The
and-
advanced license.
And what is the license in Canada called?
Okay, so you've got two now. As of June 1st, you've got the basic operation, which essentially is the uncontrolled airspace that you can fly in up into 400 feet AGL.
Mm-hmm.
And the advanced operation, which allows you to be closer to people, up to 5 meter, and then being in a controlled airspace. As long as the drone is approved by Transport Canada, they do have to submit some sort of a safety insurance to Transport Canada to make sure that the drone is allowed to do these operations.
There are a lot of hurdles to jump over before you can get to where you are, and I imagine it would be near impossible to be a profitable business without getting all of the stuff, all the licensing.
You'd have to do that now.
Yeah.
Although at least you can still do a business even with the basic operation.
Mm-hmm.
I believe you guys have a specific definition if you are making money, so you do have to have that Part 107. Whereas here with the basic license, you could still have a business, although it'd be a little bit more complicated in areas where it's populated and controlled airspace.
Is there a reciprocal agreement between the United States and Canada where Part 107 people can come up and fly and make money? Or
Actually, no. I looked into it, and if you were to come over to Canada, you'd have to apply for a special waiver to be able to fly. And I find it a little bit special because you and I, we were talking about it when we were testing Skype there.
Mm-hmm.
For younger people, to have a basic license, you need to be 14 years old. And if you're younger, you'd be able to fly as long as you're with somebody who has a license, either the basic operation or the advanced operation. But they do specify the age if you're below 14 years old. So if you're older, then in that particular case, according to how it's written, it would be you would have to have a license in order to fly in Canada. Now, if I was to cross over to the United States, I think I do have some special hoops to go through. I would have to still register my drone.
Right.
And then from what I can see, you'd need a U.S. address. So have to buddy up with you to.
Yeah, you can use mine.
to get my drone
no problem. You can use my address. In fact, here it is. There's my address right there. 215 Baker Road, Tennessee. If anybody wants to send me anything.
Ken, I have to interrupt you.
Yeah. What's up? Yeah.
Earlier, we got a super chat coming in from Tony Walker, and we totally blew it. We missed it. So,
Tony Walker.
I'll read to you what it says.
Hey, buddy, thanks. Yeah.
He was a $10 super chat. He said, "Love the show, Ken. Linda is the bomb on time lapse. Please send me vanilla eyes for my Mavic Pro."
Will do, Tony, and thank you very much for that. And if anybody,
sorry to interrupt, guys.
No, that's all right. If anybody wants any eyeballs or anything, you can email me here, kenheronupload@gmail.com. That includes footage for the viewer video of the week, which we'll share here in a little bit. And if you want to send me candy or anything, you can send it to that physical address there. So as of, I believe it's June 1st, things have changed in Canada. And how has that affected you and your business? Is this a problem?
No, in my case, it was more to just keep being able simply to do more with the drone period, because I still passed the basic license back in January, so I was still okay as of June 1st to do the basic stuff in uncontrolled airspace. And in my case, it was more recreational, but I invested so much already in it that I just didn't want to lose it. I like flying the drone. I do think it's an opportunity for opening doors, because in Canada, once you pass the advanced license, you still have to get a flight review with an instructor who has their license. And with mine, when I did my own evaluation with him, he's got my number now. So if he's got jobs where he would need somebody to send over, or even an observer for him, so it opens door, and I think it's a great time to be in to at least have that.
Right.
If the industry is
if you have all your ducks in an order, then you're ahead of the game. I know here in the United States, many people aren't even aware, and I'm talking about businesses, realtors. They're not aware that you need to have a license in order to hire a drone photographer.
And here it's pretty hefty fine if you get caught not having your license. So.
Right, and I imagine people in Canada aren't very, very aware of that either. And you can't claim ignorance.
No,
you can't.
Exactly.
Do you have? Because I know the FAA, they're not policing it. I mean, it'd be hard pressed to get in trouble right now as it is. Is it any different in Canada? Are they actually seeking out to publicly, make an example of anybody?
I don't believe they are actively seeking out people, but if you get caught, maybe by the policeman, just checking on, knowing the rules, that if you do have, because you need to carry your papers with you, you need to have everything ready if it's being asked upon. And so if any authorities are asking, you would have to have that. And of course, if something happens and they're able to trace it back to you, then of course, if you didn't have any of the required papers and licensing and whatnot, then you're in trouble.
Yeah, I'm looking in the chat if there's any questions for you. It looks like Annie might be a little sweet on you. She thinks you're a good-looking guy, and but I don't see any questions. But is there anything that you would like people to know about Canada? Us Americans, what should we know about drones in Canada?
Drones in Canada? Well, definitely you have to come over. Oh, I think you've cut. I don't hear you anymore.
You don't hear me?
Yep. Okay, it's back.
Okay. All right.
So repeat that.
Yeah. Well, I was just gonna say, is there anything that Americans should know if they're gonna be traveling into Canada and bringing their drones? I mean, what's the first? Should we leave them at home? Yeah.
It seems to be hard if you're coming into Canada and don't have. Like I said, if you're going through the regulations, you need that special waiver. So even before the rules started here in Canada as of June 1st, there's a special waiver for all the specialized operation. And you would have, in your case, if you're coming over to Canada, you would have to apply for that particular one, which I find strange, like I said, for any 14 years old and younger.
Yeah.
As long as you're accompanied with somebody who has a license, they'd be okay. But I find it weird that in your case, you'd come over, we'd be going off and flying to just our drones, and you wouldn't be able to do it without that waiver. So it seems hard for
that is weird
to do it.
And I mean, these rules are still evolving all over the world. They're still changing.
Yeah.
I mean, 6 months from now, it'll all be different. But do you have what's the weight class and under for toy drones?
So 250 grams and less, you don't need any license for that.
Okay.
So it's between 250 grams to 25 kilograms.
Mm-hmm.
You fit in that category of drones where you need either a basic operation license or the advanced operation. And then beyond that, you need that waiver.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for talking with us. I'm going to have to let you go because Linda's going to have to leave in a minute. We don't want to make her late.
Well, it's great to see you, Linda, again.
Yeah.
It was nice to see you too. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you very much, Francois.
Take care, guys.
Appreciate it.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. Well, he's a nice guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how many minutes you got there, Linda?
I got 4 minutes.
4 minutes. Okay, this is just enough time to share this video. Along those same lines, I believe I forget who. Oh, it was Dan that was talking about.
And we did get another super chat in as well from Sean. Sean C.
Sean C. $2 super chat. Ken, just you, my drone reel on Betamax. Yeah. I think I have a Betamax somewhere in my house, somewhere in storage.
Do you?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I'm old enough to have a Betamax. So this ADS-B is something that DJI has been talking about putting in their new drones coming up starting in 2020. They're going to put it in there. But it's not something apparently that the FAA is requiring. Kenny Simpson sent me this message that linked to a video of a live stream that the FAA put on, and they were talking about the ADS-B on drone aircraft, and apparently they don't have a lot of viewers on the live stream. So in the beginning, there's the FAA and the little group talking about the ADS-B and answering the question that people are asking about that when it pertains to drones. And then at the end, it may or may not have been edited by your pal Ken to kind of put a magnifying glass on how few people were watching the stream. So enjoy this. It's the FAA, their live stream.
Right. We're getting a couple questions from the audience on drones. Is there ever going to be a time that UAS will have to equip with ADS-B?
So as far as the small drones, the quadcopters and things that you buy in the big box stores, those are not going to be required to have ADS-B. The ADS-B is a link for manned aircraft, and so if there's a whole rulemaking effort right now that I'm not an expert on at all by any means, so I can't go into any detail on it, but there's a whole rulemaking effort going on right now about how to properly identify drones while they're flying. ADS-B, I don't expect will be one of those solutions.
Yep. And I know Jay Merkel, this was probably his favorite question from the UAS symposium was, is ADS-B going to be required on UAS aircraft? And his answer was very clearly, no, we're not expecting that to be part of the solution set for Mode ID and UAS. Okay. And let me just take a minute to welcome anybody who's joining us.
Oh, the cringe. Jesus. Oh no.
It'll come back. Okay.
I may or may not have edited all of the lulls together. I don't know. I can't remember whether or not I did that. Thank you so much, Kenny Simpson, for sending that. I apologize.
You need to come back with a show on Tuesday and call it Cringe Tuesday, and just have a live show of nothing but that.
That was pretty cringe, wasn't it? I'm sorry, FAA. I'm sorry. I saw an opportunity and I took it. Well, I guess we got to let you go, huh?
You're going to have to let me go. If there's any last questions, somebody let me know now, or else I got to peace out.
Okay.
I got to do some weather-related stuff.
All right. Well, before Linda goes, now this doesn't mean the show's over. I'll do it myself. If you would like to be my new co-host for the remainder of the show, go ahead and chat your username. Chat your Skype username, and I'll bring you in as soon as Linda leaves. But Linda, you're thinking about doing a live stream on your channel. Is that right?
I am. Yeah, I made a little video over the last day. I did like 30 takes to make the video, but it's up on my channel. I was thinking about potentially doing a live stream of my own just to talk about questions that people may have about photography specifically. Maybe on learning how to use their camera better, or maybe you want to know how I took a certain photo, or maybe you want to learn how to edit a little bit. So I figured maybe I could talk about some of the technical stuff that sometimes you don't talk about on your show. And they can bring it over to my channel.
Right.
We can talk about that. I think that'd be nice. And I can get a little bit of a conversation going. I feel like so many people comment that they want to see more videos of mine, and I super appreciate that. And I hear you. I want to give them to you. It's just so hard to do with the type of videos that I make. So I thought that this would be a nice way to supplement the videos on my channel.
Right. And Linda, she pains over these videos. Everything on her channel has been pained over. She takes so much time to put that together into its final little presentation, and she's a wealth of knowledge. So if you have anything that you would like to know about photography, do let her know if you would be interested in her live stream by going to her channel and putting a comment in that video. All right, Linda. Well, I guess I'll just do this thing myself.
It's been real. I'm sorry I have to go. It just happened to be tonight. The room is already full, so there's not another repeat for me to go to a different meeting.
That's okay. Thank you so much for being on.
Hey, thanks for having me, Kenny.
All right, I'll talk to you later, and bye.
And nice seeing everybody else in the chat.
Okay.
I'll be
see
seeing
ya.
you.
Okay, bye.
All right, bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye. Well, that's it. She gone. She gone. It's just me. Oh, wait. She's still there. No, it's me. So I see Mike Roche. Who else we got? Jay Fed would love to co-host. Let's see, who else? I know Mike Roche, you've been on. Let's try somebody who hasn't been on. Who wants to co-host? Let's just blow this thing up. I'm gonna try Jay Fed 15. Hopefully he's not 15. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I was 15 once. Let's see. I'm thinking that's Joseph. Let's just go ahead and see. And thanks for being patient. Tonight's a weird show. Anybody? Joseph? Calling Joseph. Wow, it's loud. Calling Joseph. Again, you have to answer the phone in order for it to work. So, all right, no Joseph. Bye-bye. Alexa, tell me a joke. I'm going to try 2 more, and then
what happens if you put baby in the corner?
What happens?
She gets hangry eyes.
Boy, that's really dumb. You know what? I'm going to try 1 more. But first, I'm going to share a video from Upper Deck Media. Ken, he makes these animations, and they're just hilarious. So this is about flying around national monuments. Enjoy this.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this edition of Peeved Pilot. Let's see what I'm angry about today. You know, I'm upset that I can't fly past all the monuments. What would be the problem? We'll be flying around the St. Louis Arch, getting some great footage, or the Golden Gate Bridge. I found some rare footage from the old days before there were all these restrictions. Here's the real reason why they don't want you flying by monuments.
Oh no. Ah. Oh, Lord.
They don't want you to fly by them because monuments are mean.
No, they're not. Very good. Thank you very much, Ken from Upper Deck Media. All right, I'm going to try one more person, and I know that they're watching, and I know they know how to use Skype. Let's just go ahead and let it be a surprise. I'm not going to mention who it is. They've been on the show before. I click that. I wonder who it could be. Mystery co-host. Come on in, buddy. Ah, Arthur Carlson, Artco. Sorry, bud. You didn't answer. Looks like it's a one-man show. But I got to make myself small so that you can still see the chat up there. All right, we're going to blow through some of these videos. I've got train stuff from Mike Miller. He says, hey, Ken, you like trains? I know you like bridges and close calls. How about trains, bridges, and close flying? I filmed at the Martinez train station in California. Enjoy. This is from Mike Miller. Enjoy the train. That's pretty close. I'd be afraid those fans would blow me off course or something. The thing about doing this is you have to make sure to look down the length of the train. There's always something sticking up that can take you out. Again, this is in California at Martinez train station. That's by Mike Miller. Thank you so much, Mike Miller. Appreciate it. Let's see here. I forgot to tell you, I bought a tiny whoop. And Jerry Calvary is going to help me get it all set up because while it looks like a toy, there's a whole lot of things that you need to do. If you're an FPV flyer, then you know that there's something called beta flight. I didn't know that. See, these are the things that I need to know. I need an FPV buddy because I probably know about 2% of the things you need to do in order to get these things going, but I'm determined to learn. So Tiny Whoop is my learning drone. And I had sort of an FPV flight at an abandoned hospital just yesterday. I'm going to show you how I flew a tiny race drone onto the roof of an abandoned hospital yesterday. This is Caraway Hospital in Birmingham, Alabama. And this will be part of a larger video that will be published over the weekend. So enjoy this. Last trip here, Oscar and I, we couldn't get you any aerial shots because we're very close to the airport. As you can see here on Air Map, we're within the 5-mile radius. So I brought this, this is an Eachine Lizard 95, and it is with the battery underneath the weight that it would then become registrable with the FAA. So I think we're okay, and I'm gonna pretty much keep it not very much higher than the building just to get you some exterior shots of the hospital.
Let's do it. Whoa, man, you're up there quick. Man, I gotta get one of those. Man,
am I doing all right?
You're perfect.
Can you see me?
Yeah, of course I can see you.
Okay.
You're like above the building,
hold on,
dude.
I'm losing. Come
down.
Okay. I want to get a shot of the hospital. I'll get a shot of the star if I can. There we get the star.
Okay. All right,
I'll see if I can buzz the star.
Over the building. If I lose you now, I can't get you.
I might just go ahead and land on the roof over there.
Really?
Yeah, so we can pick it up later. I don't know.
Come back to the right. Now stop there and come straight down.
Okay. Okay, good. Okay,
All right, now come back to the left. You're over the building.
All right, I'm going to land it on the roof.
Okay, I can't see you now.
I'm landing on the roof.
All right, I can't see you now.
Okay.
Did you land it?
I did. I crashed it on the roof.
Wow.
I intentionally crashed it on the roof. That was totally on purpose.
Okay.
I'm sure it's fine. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's very intentional. I crashed, landed up there. So that gives us a goal to retrieve the drone. It's still on. So, FPV guys, hats off to you because that was hard. It would have been easier if I could see what I was doing. You could see the you guys couldn't see it, but it was breaking up. I couldn't see the video.
Wow.
So if there's any FPV guys out there that want to hang out with me, make a video and show me how to do this properly, email me at this address. Thank you. Let's go get that thing.
Nice.
See, that's the thing. If I had a good solid image transmission, I'm pretty sure I'd be a better flyer, but when it craps out on me, I don't know what to do, and those things don't have return to home and all the comforts that a GPS drone would give you. So if you happen to be an FPV guy, you live close to me, I know there's plenty of FPV people watching, but if you live near West Tennessee and you want to do a collaboration and make a video or 2 or 3 about teaching an old guy how to do FPV, well, email me, kenheronupload@gmail.com. And now it's time to give away something.
It's another exciting contest.
All right, somebody's going to win something. And that something is filters from Freewell. Now, what they did was, initially, they were only offering the Mavic 2 and the Osmo Pocket, but now they've opened it up to everything. Every single product that they make is now available. So if you win, you pick which one you want, and you're off to the races. So the first person to answer this question will win their choice of Freewell ND filters. Here's the question. On the Freewell website, freewellgear.com, under the support tab, which word is misspelled? And I need you to misspell that word. First person to put in the chat the misspelled word on the freewellgear.com under the support tab will win. Alexa, tell me a joke.
Why did the snail cross the road?
Why?
He needed to escargot, so he escar went, and now he's escar gone.
Now, Steve Edwards, you spelled it correctly, so you don't win. I think. Yeah, Bill McGlone, you correctly misspelled it, so congratulations. Of course, I'll go back and I'll make sure, but yeah, this is the misspelled word. English, not their first language at Freewell, but that's fine. We can forgive them. I like finding misspelled words on their website. Privery, but you know what they mean anyway, right? Sure, yeah. So let's move on to another video. Congratulations and a big thank you very much to Freewell. They've been giving us the prize every week, and we very much appreciate it. Of course, links to all their products are in the description. Let's see. How would you like to see a dust devil, a mini tornado, destroy somebody's shed? No, you would? Okay, good. Hey, Ken, this is from Bob Davis. He says, hey, Ken, we had a dust devil go through the backyard of our shop a few weeks ago, and this is the footage caught by our security cam. Notice the trees on the right-hand side of the screen are absolutely motionless, while the top of the tent is torn to shatters. It's not drone stuff, but it's pretty cool. And his insurance did pay for it, so that's great. This is from Bob Davis. A little mini tornado. Dust devil. Enjoy. Oh. Not the strongest of structures, but still, that wind is pretty powerful. Thanks for sending that in, Bob. Appreciate it. I love destruction. And I happen to have some more destruction here. You may have seen this on this here stream a couple weeks ago, but this is some new footage from that implosion out in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. The old Martin Tower. This is filmed on a Mavic 2 Pro. And this is from Kyle Elliott from HomeSpot Media. And this is the implosion. There's no sound to this. But it's a pretty cool view from what is a Mavic 2 Pro. That's nice. Now you see the building. Now you don't. All gone. Cool. Awesome. All right, we're just going to blow through these. You know what? Actually, I'm sure there's some of you here that are wondering who's going to win this. This is from Freewell. This is a light pollution filter. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, if you're not a scroller, then you're not in the club. If you want to be in the club, all you have to do is look at any one of my videos, most of my videos, I'd say 98%. And if you scroll down in the description, there's always a secret link of something. And this is one of those that I'll play so you can understand the contest a little bit better. Hey there. Me and Henry want to thank you very much for scrolling, and to reward you, you now have a chance to win this. This is the light pollution filter from Freewell Filters for your DJI Osmo Action. This is brand new from Freewell, and now is your chance to win. All you have to do is comment, not in this video, but in the main video, the one that you scrolled from. Yes. All you have to do is comment in there. My butt itches. And I'll pick a winner from those who commented. Won't that confuse some people? Does your butt itch? Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it, and so does Henry. You're a cutie. Ah, that's my boy. So you may have seen my butt itches quite a bit in some of the comments and go, what is that about? Well, that's what this is about. So now you'll be a scroller, won't you? Yes, you will. Let's go ahead and bring up the Decideratron 5000, and I'll put the URL in here. We'll find out who is going to win from Freewell, the light pollution filter. Let's see. All right, you got a 1 in 222 chance. Let's go over here and see who wins. My butt itches is what you were supposed to put, and they didn't put it. Ah! You would have won. So we go to the next person. Maybe they followed instructions. And that person is... Oh, they did it. Okay, so Zuper Mixon person. Congratulations. You won this. Now make sure you email me to remind me so I can get it off to you, okay? Very good. All right. So blowing through some more videos here. This is actually very important information, and it could help some of you. This is a thing that I didn't even know about, and this is from a guy named Gray. It says, hey, Ken, I called my local FAA office and spoke to a guy for quite a while. He gave me this link, and it appears you can almost fly anywhere. Well, that's true. Only where it's colored do you have to observe certain restrictions. Red, you can't, and green, there are heights. So what he's talking about is the upside down layer cake that is the U.S. airspace. And the closer you get to the airport, it's small at the airport, and then it opens up, like C and D. And so what I'll show you here is the website with this. And there's a link in the description of this handy dandy FAA airspace map. So here it is. Again, link in the description. You find out where you want to fly. So this is Nashville, and those are the airports. You zoom in a little bit, and it'll show you. You'll see the little 400s. Well, that's the ceiling of that layer of the upside down layer cake. And you can see there's plenty of places to fly, but as you get closer to the airport, those numbers go down. So, and this is good for anywhere in the country. It'll show you. And if you want to know a little bit more about airspace, then you can go to skyvector.com, and that will offer you up some sectional charts. Now, those are a little bit more difficult to decipher. And if you want to learn, you can go to remotepilot101.com and find out about that. Sign up. It's a little weird having just me on here, isn't it? A little bit weird. But that's okay. I can blow through these videos. Everybody still, we still on board? We still good? Everything good? Yep. LAANC. I'm going to be doing a video about the LANC system coming up. River Mersey, you're so nice. Yes, 100K subscribers. That'd be great. I'm looking at my subscriber count right now, and it seems to, it's going the right direction. So thank you. If you're watching and you haven't subscribed, hey, make an old guy happy. Just click. It's that easy. Then you're out. No other obligations. I'm not going to send you junk mail. I'm not going to ask you to drive me to the airport. I'm not going to give you a kidney, but hey, we'll have that kind of relationship where we can be subscribe buddies. Click. That easy. Okay. Steve Meyer sent me this. This is some more of the floods that he's experiencing in his own town of Alton, Illinois. And I'll go ahead and share that with you. It's a terrible thing that's been happening with this weather all over the country. And he sent me this. He says, I'm watching your show right now as I'm sending this. Hope you can use it on the show. So far, so good tonight. Clearly, he didn't see the beginning of the show, but... Again, this is Alton, Illinois. Or Illinois, as some people say. They also say Arkansas. Wow. Water can cause such upheaval. Henry Ronnie wants to know what mic I use. Is that right? I use an Audio-Technica microphone. I bought this microphone in 1992. But there's a second part to it. It's hooked up to... Oh, hi. It's hooked up to an aural exciter. So it's not just the microphone. It's all the other stuff that go to it. This is a radio station, and then I have radio station stuff. Okay, I got the viewer video of the week. Now, I wanted to show this while Linda was on, but she ditched me. That's okay, Linda. This is a video about Arizona, and this is from Mike Kelly. It says, hey, Ken, I would like to submit my Arizona desert video. Hope you like it. Chris Rollins always talks about how he really likes sun artifacts. This one has a few. Love the show and all that you do for the droning community. Keep up the good work, Mike Kelly. So this is the Arizona desert landscape as seen by Mike Kelly. I went to Arizona for the first time, I guess 3 years ago. Absolutely stunning. You can see it in video, movies, pictures, and everything, but until you're standing out there in the hot sun, scorpion running across your toes, accidentally brush up against a cactus. Just a beautiful place. I think Mark Rogers recognizes the tune. It does sound like Mazzy Star, doesn't it? Now, there's somebody who's over 40. Mazzy Star would sing like... She's like a female Bob Dylan. I'm ruining the video. I apologize. Yeah. I'm not going to do karaoke again. I feel like I'm forgetting something. We did that. Oh! I know what we forgot. And it's going to be a lonely, lonely trip to Raztown. Let's go ahead and step into the Razmatron. Ah, the old Razmatron. You know, it's a wonderful place to be in the Razmataz. I want to thank each and every one of you for being a part of my channel. It really means a lot to me, and I say that with the utmost sincerity. As we let the blue and purple goo envelop our being, it's like being reborn, just sitting here in the res. Let it get all up in there. You know how you like it. Yes. Nothing is wrong when you're in the res. And we're back. All right. Well, let's see. Oh, we're coming up on 2 hours. That's not a bad show. I hope that YouTube stitched this together where all that stuff happened, where I had to restart it. Thanks for sticking around, everybody. Did I forget anything? I don't think I did. I really do enjoy this. I know I tell you that every week, but I really, really do. This live stream means a lot to me. It's a great place to meet everyone and to find out what everybody's up to, and it's a labor of love for sure. I have a couple more videos that I want to share. Now, I did a contest called the One Frame Game, and what I did was I hid the answer that you had to get in one frame in a 3-hour-long video. Many of you were frustrated. Others said it was really fun. But for those of you who didn't have the patience to sit through that, because I put little clips in there throughout the whole thing, I'm going to go ahead and play every single one of the clips so that it'll satisfy your curiosity in case you were. This is all the hidden clips from the One Frame Game on my channel. Well, this isn't it, but don't give up. Keep looking. Come on, you know you want to win this. Neither is this. Give up yet? Now, why would I put the answer right toward the beginning? It's probably in the middle somewhere. It would be easy if it were right at the end like this, but no. Still haven't found it. This is a pretty silly contest, isn't it? Now, why did I have to go and throw these little clips in there just to trip you up? You're not going to give me a thumbs down just because you're about to give up, are you? Hey, did you hear about the two guys that stole a calendar? The punchline's somewhere else in this video. You'll find it. They each got 6 months. Hey. Yeah, that was a good one. I like it. Oh, dear. US, behave yourself. Love you. Mean it. Buh and bye. And that's it. Did you like that? Should I do it again? Should I make it a 10-hour-long video? I don't know. You tell me. Stephen Ewing, what about Would You Ride It? We did Would You Ride It with our guest. You missed it about 20 minutes ago. And Bob Casey is asking, are you still doing the workshops? Yes, in fact, I am. For those who don't know, I'm offering a workshop, a one-on-one workshop, where I answer all of your questions about life. I'll even give you tomorrow's lottery numbers. I don't know if they're correct, but I'll give them to you. So you can go to my website, heronaerialphotography.com, and just scroll to the one-on-one workshop place. Let's see. There it is, heronaerialphotography.com. And we can chit-chat about this or that. I'll give you my YouTube knowledge and editing or whatever you want. $2 super chat. Thank you so much. Rate the Phantom 3 standard. Okay. Well, I mean, it's a Wi-Fi drone. It's still a Phantom, though, so... I mean, it's better than a Spark, right? You're going to have all the functionality of a Phantom drone. It's got the size, the maneuverability, but the range is just not there. The camera's not bad. And I believe they did a firmware update where you can still get the 4K, the low end of the 4K. But so there you go. Phantom 3 standard. I have rated. Now, there's a guy named Rick Jacobs, and I've been meaning to play this. I meant to do it last week, but while we have a little bit of time, and people seem to still be watching, Rick Jacobs put together a little homage to me. This is kind of weird for me to watch, but it was nice of him to put it together. So I'm going to play just a little bit of it. This is Rick Jacobs and his video to me.
Well, hello everybody. I thought I'd do a short little video about Ken Heron, fellow YouTuber, puts on some great videos, especially about drones and reviews about equipment, etc. As you can plainly see, I have no tattoos, none. But in honor of Ken's tattoos, I'm going to go out and get some tattoos. Well, hey, here's a picture of my new tattoos. Nice. I think they came out pretty good. Of course, they're not as good as Ken's, but hey, this was my first attempt.
You'll enjoy pigeon jerky, pigeon jerky.
Why the pigeon across the road to get to the other slide? Ho ho!
Did you get it? You know, get to the other slide. Hello?
Yeah.
Anybody?
Okay. Well, that was nice. Thank you for doing that, Rick Jacobs. I appreciate it. All right. That'll about do it for today. What am I forgetting? Viewer video of the week? I guess that's it. Thank you very much for Linda for hanging out as long as she did. It was good to see her back again. Hopefully she'll return again one day soon. Anybody? Anybody? Okay. No. All right. By the way, I do go back and I actually watch the entire show and I read every single one of your chats. I really do. I try to read all of your comments on all the videos as well. And I also try to answer every one of the emails. If you've ever emailed me, you know that I answer you pretty quickly. And that is because if I don't answer you right away, I will forget. Swiss cheese. But I do encourage you to use this email if you want to contact me. If you know my other email, that's my business email. So if it has anything to do with something that's not business, like fun, like this is, please use this one. $2 super chat. Do I play video games? I don't. And I think that's because I have enough screen time with editing. I'm in front of this computer all day long, so like to go home and play more video games. And besides, I'm over 50, so, you know, what do I know? I know Pac-Man, all those. Let's play the viewer video of the week for you, and then I'm going to ski to the daddle, as they say. This is from Jonathan Taylor. He says, "Hey, Ken, I didn't like my previous video content. Honestly, I thought it was trash, so I trashed it and started again. Let me know what you think. This is 2 minutes with John Taylor at the Sutherland Dam in Ramona, California. And it's the viewer video of the week. Enjoy."
The Sutherland Dam. When I first saw a photo of this place, I told myself I had to go check it out. So I grabbed a couple cold Monster energy drinks, a bag of jerky, packed up my drone, and hit the road. What drew me into this place were those 17 semicircle arches between 18 buttresses. The dam's 161 feet above the creek bed below. The spillway you see here keeps the water levels below 145 feet, a water level that hasn't been seen since the 1990s. Out there in the distance is Coral Mountain, which can be accessed by various fire roads and lies behind ominous no trespassing signs. Construction on the Sutherland Dam began in 1927, came to a screeching halt in 1928 after Escondido and San Diego battled over water rights. Construction was eventually completed in 1952 by the Daly Corporation of San Diego and Bent Construction Company of Alhambra. Now, Southern California, well, the entire state of California for that matter, is no stranger to a good wildfire. And in 2007, the Witch Creek fire decimated a large portion of this area, but nature is staging one hell of a comeback. Interestingly enough, some ruins were found above the dam that are quite mysterious. further exploration and research will be done, and hopefully answers will be found. There are also rumors of a garnet mine in the area and a documented Lipe village, which has not been located to photograph. Rumor has it the village may lay at the bottom of the lake. If the lake drops much further from the current capacity, we just may be able to find it. Well, if you're looking for a beautiful drive just outside San Diego, I recommend Sutherland Dam. Pack up the family and your fishing poles for a beautiful day out here and maybe a little adventure. I recommend making time to stay for the sunset. The sunrise this morning sure was beautiful. Enjoy the rest of the video, and we'll see you on the next one.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much, Jonathan Taylor, for sending that in. I appreciate it. If you want to send something in for the viewer video of the week, you can send it to kenheronupload@gmail.com. A couple more comments. Mark Rogers asked what my highest pinball score was. I'm a pinball guy. There was a game called The Black Knight. It was the first dual layer game, and I played it at Jilly's Arcade in Ocean City, New Jersey. I played it until the buttons pretty much came off. And back then, in the 80s, they would put your name on the machine if you got the high score, and my name was up all summer. Thomas Bray says, you're a pretty cool dude. Keep the shows a-coming, Ken. I'm as cool as I can be for being an old guy, so I will keep the shows a-coming as long as I'm able. And I do have to say, again, that this whole drone community is just a wonderful place. As different as we all are, and different ages, and different religions and areas of the world, we all have this drone and photography thing in common, and I just think that's a wonderful thing to bring us all together on that common ground. So that's it.
We hope you enjoyed the show half as much as you would have if it had been twice as good.
Thank you, Linda, Clever Dark Elf, for being on the show. Her triumphant return. And it was great. There's a link in the description. Thank you to Dan Stinnett from DC 101 in Washington, D.C., and our buddy in Canada, Francois. Thanks also to Freewell for offering up the prize for this week, and also RemotePilot101.com. If you want to learn to get your Part 107, check them out. So thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for being awesome. Until next time, and bye.
jerky, the killer can process meat. Enjoy pigeon jerky, and you'll give your family a treat. It's balanced nutrition to help them grow, and it's full of fiber to make them grow. You enjoy pigeon jerky, a tail like a processed meat.
Yeah. That was so funny.